Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality gates.
Let's love.
Oh, I love it. It's just me. It's the perfect show. Oh.
Fuck off.
Well, that ended.
Get this out of me. Hello.
You need the microphone, asshole. You just can't talk into
I'm
space
fine.
and a magic microphone comes up to you.
To organize my seat.
Y'all, this is Happily Ever After.
Am I gonna? Is there a lot of room on this side
Part-
of me? Who cares?
Part 2.
Part 2.
There's enough room. It's fine. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome. If this is Intimate Portrait, you're watching us
You're
right now.
watching us right now. We got our coffee.
Poodle's knees do look bruised. I don't know why, but they always look bruised.
People love to comment on it.
They
They're
always
like, what
look
happened to
bruised.
your knees?
Y'all, they just always look like that.
Well, they don't always look like that. If I've been down on my knees, like insert thing here, I've been putting together furniture. I've been putting together bookcases. So my knees are going to look a little bit bruised.
And they're not bruised from you putting your knees on your tile floor while two men are in your bathtub, slapping your face with dicks.
Possibly.
Like that thing you play in a carnival. What's it called?
Whack-a-mole.
They're just playing whack-a-mole with their dicks in your face. You're just trying to get them all.
I want a prize.
Ooh.
I can't. I gotta.
And you know
my
what?
Coffee.
That game's rigged too.
It's true. Everyone wins.
Y'all, this is season 6, episode 4, Damage Control.
Damage control.
Part 2. We're talking about. Who are we even talking about this episode? I don't even remember.
The Jovi and Yara.
I think it's in the order, right?
Natalie
No,
and I saw it's Natalie and Michelle. Natalie and Mike. Tiffany and Brendan and Julia.
Brent. So who do you want to start with, Poodle?
Like 4 boring people.
Let's start. Who do you want to start with? I'll let
Do
you
we have
choose.
announcements?
Extreme Sisters. Poodle actually liked this episode.
Okay. I will say this was the best episode that we've done. Mm-hmm. Actually, I think this is the best episode that we recorded. Mostly because I had fun. I had several theories that kind of blew my mind that came to me while watching this episode. Things that aren't... Stop mugging to the camera.
I was right.
You're not right.
Where's that pillow?
It's still disgusting.
Where's that pillow?
I'm less... Now that I know the Aussie twins are insufferable and awful...
They are awful.
It's helpful that I don't feel a lot of sympathy for them. Are you comfortable? Do you need a pillow?
I want to do a dance. I was right.
Do you need a pillow?
I was right.
Love Extreme Sisters.
Where did you get that from? You know what? I have. It's a shame I have instruments around my apartment.
And musical instruments.
Like if you're a gay man and you don't have if you don't have a tambourine in your apartment or,
then what the
or a
point
recorder,
don't
what's the
wake up.
point?
Don't wake up in the morning.
I feel like I just don't exist anymore.
Oh,
don't exist anymore.
Let me read, y'all. We're just going to say this. The Extreme Sisters, there's
Bonkers.
now a psychic mom who reads tea leaves. There's another mom who's naked in a hot tub. It's good.
It's good. It's good, right?
It's good. We're even thinking of we're scheduling a collab with our friend Chris Farrah, a YouTuber friend who does 90 Day. Y'all, if you're not watching Chris Farrah's YouTube 90 Day Fiancé, they're pretty fucking funny.
They're very funny. Chris Farrah's the only person we've shared a stage with in Cabaret, and a couple that they're very good friends, but we kind of regretted it because she started getting a lot of laughs. And we didn't really love that.
And we were less funny.
No. And she did. She's also one of the few people who made me break on stage.
She's a little more talented than us, but she's a good person, and we're okay with it.
Yeah.
So
she's very talented.
So we're gonna do that collab. I don't think
maybe this week.
We've got new merch coming. New merch
next week.
Just waiting. Just waiting.
If you're waiting for your, I've also been contacted about talking about sugar babies and our conversation the other day. Me being a sugar baby, and I think I said, and now I'm a vinegar baby. We've had merch asking about vinegar baby merch.
Remember, y'all, all the proceeds of that merch that you purchase goes towards a charity. And this month we're talking about Siwa International, right? Is that how you say
yes, Siwa International. It's still. I was like, wait, what month is it?
It's
still May.
It's still May.
Siwa International for help at the pandemic in India.
We've raised over $4,000.
Yes.
Now a lot of that is because once we raised $1,500, a sissy donated $1,500 of her own money, but still $4,000. That's pretty. So thank y'all.
Siwa International is almost directly involved with getting oxygen onto the ground. That's the biggest problem right now.
So when you buy a T-shirt,
so air,
we don't get that money. It goes. All the proceeds goes towards.
So when you buy your new vinegar baby,
so
T-shirt,
when you buy your Live Laugh Lube pillow, you're helping people get oxygen.
You're helping people.
Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. I don't think we have any other announcements. No, I don't think 90 Day Caribbean Love's coming. We're going to recap it. You mentioned that. That's
not coming until June, July.
If you haven't watched the tell-all of the single life,
what are you doing with your life?
It's worth the $5.
It's the best tell-all in years.
It's worth the $5 on Discovery Plus, y'all. I hate to say it.
I agree.
Anyway. All right, everybody. Let's jump in. Who? Oh no! Who are we going to do first?
Jovi and Yara.
Okay,
we're doing this in order.
Jovi child. Jovi child. You got the baby. You got the baby, Jovi.
When you do it,
you got the baby.
It sounds worse. When you do it, it sounds Caribbean.
No,
Jovi child. You go down to the bar. You gonna have the Buddha.
We gonna have the shrimpy.
No, it's
the crawfishy.
No, there's no E at the end like Larissa. We're going to move on. Don't do accents. Yours are bad. I at least know mine are woefully inadequate. Yours are just really bad. And also because they're just not right.
I thought it translated.
So they're down. They're having lunch on the water, y'all. Everybody love the water.
What happened? I don't even remember.
They're having lunch on the water.
Yeah.
And Yara is feeling. Jovi says that Yara is being overprotective of Mila, which is I do love the name Mila.
Beautiful baby,
and
she has this cute little pouty lips. Like
Yara can't keep her hands off the baby. Which I was like, this is normal for a new mom.
I mean, isn't the baby like a week old?
I don't...
or 2 weeks old?
Maybe
a month?
2 weeks old.
It's a very small baby.
And then Jovi's like, breastfeeding in public. Is that legal? Is that even legal? Can you do that in public?
No,
I don't know. I don't know if that's even legal.
I mean, now Yara's like, I don't want her to grow up. She won't grow up without me. I would never let her do what I did.
I would never send her into a country.
Jovi, basically, we're setting up this dynamic of Jovi wants his own time.
We never got to go to the newlywed stage.
Jovi basically, newlywed stage. And he's stressed. What all this is that he's stressing out that he's going to be leaving.
Yeah.
And what this really is? He worries he's going to leave for 2 months to go to work. Yara's going to bond with the baby more.
Yeah.
And then he's going to come back and Yara's not going to care about him.
I see that because he's an only child. Or maybe he's not an only child.
I don't know. But that's what all of it is.
He was adopted, by the way.
He just worries that he's not going to be loved.
I can see that.
Put a stamp on that.
I want to say, he does say, and Yara, we can't have sex because she just had a baby go through her vagina.
It was very.
It just throws that out there.
I'm like,
yes, that happened. We can't have sex because he just had a baby. Go through her. Everything is a little teachery because we can't have sex because he just had a baby. She just had a baby go through her vagina.
Because I inserted my penis back and forth, in her vagina,
back and forth to make a baby,
and I spooched I ejaculated my semen,
inside of her,
created a baby, and then 9 months later,
the baby grew, and then it came out through her vagina. I don't know if y'all know that, but it came out of her vagina.
Yeah, can't have sex in there. It was just very
can't have sex because baby went through her vagina. Yeah. I
was kind of shocked by that. I was not shocked, but I was just.
It was a weird thing to say.
It was a weird thing to say, and also,
you could have just said we can't have sex because obviously she's just giving birth.
Or what if you?
The baby came from her vagina.
Or what if you don't even
talk about
that
your
you
sex?
Can't have sex right now. Because your wife just had a baby.
Maybe not think about you.
You just say, this is a way, and maybe the producers, but
I think
it was this way of like, Jovi can only feel intimacy with his wife whenever he fucks her. So now what's he going to do? Poor man. Can't have sex.
I don't think this storyline is very full of interest, so we're going to have to create it.
I do think though that there is. I do think Yara is stressed out about having a baby on her own.
Oh yeah, it'd be terrifying.
Jovi leaving. So I'm more interested when they talk about that because that seems more real.
Right. She's worried about him giving up his party lifestyle. She's worried about the baby with getting in the sun, which is a normal. But she's sitting in the.
So like now it is true like. They're sitting there trying to have dinner. The baby's in the bassinet.
Yeah.
Or the stroller or whatever. Yara can't stop staring at the baby. And Jovi's like, well, why don't you just
baby's fine. Yara, baby's fine.
Just hold her, and then you're not staring at her all the time. And so it's the whole thing of y'all, every new couple.
You hold her, she's fine.
You try to go out when you have a new baby, and it goes horribly.
Enjoy lots of shortened meals, Jovi.
Yes.
Enjoy those meals where the baby has a fucking meltdown.
Yeah.
In the middle of Capri's restaurant.
It's kind of like when, like if Poodle and I had something to do, but this is my single days. If Poodle and I had to do a show or a podcast, I had something to do. But I was going to get fucked earlier, but I didn't want to tell him. It's like he psychically knew and made the podcast so much longer. And if I told him I had plans, he would say, oh, you have plans?
Oh, you have plans?
You have plans. And then he'd be like...
And then I asked what it was.
I'm just going to go to the bathroom real quick and pee. And then 30 minutes later, he would come out of the bathroom, and I'm just sitting here waiting.
But if you would have just told me you wanted to get fucked later, I'd be like, sure.
That's true. So honesty is the best policy.
I agree.
If I told
That's the moral of that story.
Yeah. If I told Poodle I was getting fucked, he would say, "Why are you here?"
I know. I would say that. I want that for everyone.
I do too. Anyway, this baby's gonna fuck things. Little Poodle fucks things up for mom and dad, for mother and father Poodle.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I'm not comfortable here, Mama. We have to leave.
Just screamed. Actually, my mother did not take me out a lot until I was like
understandable.
Understandable. And then when I was be around people, I was just like, people, attention, show me something.
Boy's out of his bubble. So this brings up, do you think that, is it too soon for them to take the baby out? Or I guess that's not for us to say, or is it more, should they have gone out without the baby? But I guess Yara, I guess, no, you know what I'm really asking? And we don't know because we're not women with children, so sissies, come at us. Do you think Yara is too attached? I feel like this is very normal.
I thought it was normal. I think asking them to have a normal family lunch about 10 days or however long after the baby's born is asking too much.
I think so too.
Her head is going to be so not there.
She's not even like she's not even healed chemically.
Yeah. And she's not going to be ready to leave that baby by herself for a while.
Because like Yara says, but she's so little, she can't do.
Yeah.
Babies, y'all, the first 3 months, babies are just fucking lumps on a log. They can't do anything.
Like what I called Sissy's baby a potato who cries.
They're a potato who cries and shits for 3 months.
Yep. There's
Isn't
no
it actually-
personality.
Isn't it considered like the fourth trimester? I think it is.
I don't
The
know.
first 3 months of a baby's life is considered a fourth trimester because
Great.
it's like it's just they're out of your stomach, but they're the same.
Not a baby expert here, so
Not saying, you know what? I'm not a baby
not
expert.
claiming to be one.
I'm not an expert, but I do know a lot because I always ask my girlfriends questions because I love it. I love babies.
Why don't you have one?
I've tried. I am one of those men. I am jealous that I can never try to breastfeed a baby. I admit it.
Well,
What do you think about that?
it'd be an excuse for your nipples looking that way.
You know what? Nobody knows because I haven't shown my nipples during an intimate portrait like you have.
I have shown one nipple and it was quick. It was like if it had a rating, it would be like an R.
I just
not
want-
an NC-17.
I just want to say that tear dropped in half after that week. And
Although strangely, we did gain 2 more, and they've been messaging me.
they're freaky deaky. And please stop sending us pictures with ball gags in
And
your
please
mouth.
stop sending me your panties.
Yeah, so Joey's basically saying we need to focus on our relationship. He says,
Which is garbage.
well, we get a little bit of context. He's been sleeping in the living room too.
Yeah.
So, which I'm like, why are you not sleeping in the bed?
Because the baby is up all night.
But why don't you get up and help Yar with the baby?
That is a good question.
Because
Although on Instagram, this is the thing. This is the hard thing about social media, you guys. On Instagram, there's tons of pictures, and maybe it's because Yar is taking them, of Jovi holding the baby, Jovi sleeping with the baby.
she said in the tell-all that Jovi is very involved in the baby's life. So maybe we're seeing this after the fact, but we're kind of seeing the beginnings of this.
We're seeing the beginning, yeah. So, and maybe things are different.
Maybe it's a habit. You cannot get comfortable with this
It's
show.
bad. It's really
You're
bad.
like, your pad keeps falling off. What?
Sissy and a dick tree. Okay, that's better. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, that's nice.
Do you need your CBD to calm down?
Fine.
Okay.
Speaking of,
Are we done with this?
yeah,
We are?
I'm announcing we're done.
Okay. No. I want to say that Jovi just wants to say, Jovi says she's being a control freak. And she already was anyway. And now it's worse that Mila is born.
I'd like to care about this part
That's
of
all
the
I'm gonna say.
storyline, but I think it's all.
And then I
hyped up.
wrote, he goes and meets Chuck. And I realized I think I typed in the wrong spot.
You did.
Let's move on.
Natalie and Mike. This is after he left the hotel when she says, "Then maybe not have your friends show them their naked pictures."
Naked pictures. And
He
Mike
goes,
just,
Gonna walk out. Leaving.
Gonna have to leave.
And she says, "I did nothing wrong," which she knows is not true, because this whole thing of Natalie, she's like, I was like, Natalie's just always bringing up the past.
She's like, I just told him to have like
bringing up her
fear.
past.
And so instead he goes back to scream.
To scream.
Scream. So he goes back. So he went back to Sequim. So she's going to end up going back there. And she said, I'm going to see where we stand. So she gets out of the car, and y'all, like a fucking horrible,
He's just like kicking a can around.
Horrible sitcom that you're just tired of watching. Mike comes out, hands in his pockets,
Nope.
shrugging his shoulders. While Natalie, she kind of, I have to visual. She's wearing a mask.
She is.
So you can't see her mouth, but you know that she's just like this.
Yeah, and she's doing her like moony little thing.
And kind of teetering back and forth.
I don't like the way you're acting right now, and it's creeping me out. Take that mask off now. She is blinking her eyes.
She's blinking, one eye blink away from lunacy.
It looks like she's the skunk Flower in Bambi. She's like, yeah,
Y'all, Flower was a big old gay skunk.
If you loved Flounder in Bambi,
Flounder's in Little Mermaid.
If you loved Flower, either you are a gay man or you're a woman with lots of gay friends.
If you've got a flower tattoo on your ass right now,
call me.
You're getting breeded by like 4 tops.
Bred, not breeded.
It just
That's
sounds
the past tense.
It just sounds
Bread.
gross when you said it. Wow.
Wow. I like you.
You're disgusting.
But breeded doesn't sound bad.
You are filthy. Wow.
But breeded doesn't sound bad.
Can we move on? I'm uncomfortable
now. When you say like when you breed a dog, like we bred 2 dogs.
Oh, stop!
It's the past tense.
You're gross.
I'm gross for knowing the past tense.
It's just
of
the
a
way
verb.
you say things that makes me uncomfortable.
Sorry, I'm just telling truth.
Anyway,
I'm a sexual being.
So was Flower.
She was
spraying that skunk juice everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes,
so
ma'am.
anyway, Mike's like, I didn't like what you said after dinner, and that's why I left. And Nata's like, apologize.
You apologize. He's like, no, you apologize.
And he's like, I'm not apologizing.
And so we see this moment where, of course, she goes inside herself and just goes, I was wrong.
She does it. She goes.
It's like she has some type of dark night of the soul that lasts for 5 seconds.
She always does that.
I was wrong.
And she says, okay, I was wrong. And
she's like, I am always the first person to make an offer because I have to do this with my...
Because, yes, so she's apologizing for something she doesn't feel like she needs to apologize for. But she just wants to, I guess, kind of make the peace and move on. And instead, Mike's like, well, maybe I'll accept your apology.
Oh, it's so awful.
Maybe I'll lord this over
well,
you.
he says, just for clarity, he says, I'm sure I will accept it. He said, I will accept it.
Horrible terminology. I'm sure
I
will
agree.
accept it. He probably wouldn't accept her apology till she like put his hairy ass balls in her mouth at the same time.
I liked it,
y'all, because Mike wants both testicles in her mouth.
Oh yeah, she's doing this thing. She's like, "This is forgiveness dance."
Yeah, forgiveness dance.
I remember from Act 2 of Fiddler on the Roof. That's where they did it. Forgiveness. Dun, 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 dun. I miss talking about Tarzal and her hump.
Do ya?
A little bit. Well, I miss talking about the character, not the people.
Yeah. You really want to talk about Hazel and Tariq?
I don't miss them. No, I said I miss talking about Tarzal, the character. I don't miss talking about them at all. So she's like, I'm singing old song.
And so Mike is like, she says, will you accept my apology? And then Mike says, I'm sure somehow I will.
I'm sure I will somehow.
Gross.
I think, and here's the thing, I can't be continuously shocked by him being either apathetic to her and her saying she has to be the victim. It is, you know what, to quote Natalie, they singing old song. It has been this way all of last season, and they start to get good. They start to kind of be in a good place, and then either she says something or he says something, and it triggers something for both of them, and they...
Yep.
Anyway.
But Mike said she's a Sour Patch Kid. Sour in the beginning and sweet in the end.
I don't want to know. Did you see that there was some kind of like hamster or guinea pig cage?
What?
Yes, in his house.
What?
Yes, it was like a hamster or guinea pig.
I need to know more about this.
I have a feeling it's probably Natalie's hamster. That she would probably want a hamster.
Just because she wanted a friend? She wants someone who actually reacted to her in an authentic
Mike's
way.
like, we'll give it to the cat or something.
No, it's not that. Mike had a hamster.
I could see that.
Mike wants to have hamsters kind of like, he wants to build a hamster track around his house.
Oh, I love those.
around his house?
No, I'm just saying
so you
those
want to be
all
sitting
those
here and have a hamster.
No,
just
I think that's
ceiling?
terrifying. I'm saying as a child, I loved making those. We had gerbils.
They're just furry rats.
We had fun with them. Mm-mm. And then my brother fell on mine with his knee and killed it in front of me. Southern story. And actually, he didn't do it in front of me. He told my mother I was playing with him, and I fell on him and I killed him. How Jake's going to hate me?
He was right. And that's what's wrong.
Well, no,
30 years later.
They basically, I think they made up a story and did not tell me my brother had killed my gerbil.
When did you find out?
Like he'd passed away or something.
No, when did you find out your brother had killed the gerbil?
Like a year or so later. By then, I didn't care really.
You did, because you're still talking about it.
I was upset about it. And I'm kind of like emotional about it now. More from his reaction.
That's sweet that he was worried about what you thought of him. He loves you.
He knew I would rain blows upon him.
Yeah, he was scared. He was scared, y'all.
As I would just brum. Where were we talking about?
By the way, have
gerbils?
you ever seen? I used to love the Rosie O'Donnell show. Have you ever seen the Rosie O'Donnell clips of whenever they made They used to make like weird desks for her for different charities, and one time they made a desk.
I can barely remember the Rosie O'Donnell show.
They made a desk for her that was a gerbil track, and it was in the desk, and she was horribly freaked out. So she would be in the middle of the show, like she's like, "Next up, we have Broadway's." It was so funny.
Remember how that show was like the standard of talk shows?
It was such a good talk show.
I never really watched. I didn't, but
loved it.
But as a child, I didn't watch talk shows like you did.
Not familiar,
because normally kids don't do that.
Familiar,
yeah.
Watched them all. Used to record them on the same tape.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, I'd record Oprah. So when I'd come home, yeah, I used to sit and watch Oprah, and then I would pause it before Oprah would ask a question. I would ask a question and see if I asked the same one Oprah did.
Things are getting quiet because that's not normal.
But then I learned I don't need to ask the same questions as Oprah. I can ask my own questions. That's why I wanted to be a host. That's why I want to have a talk show one day.
Your story has become tiresome.
I would love
Let's move on.
I would love to have a talk show now. You know how Ellen has Twitch, who's like a DJ and does fun? I'm not
your DJ.
I would have you, but just kind of in a cage, just throwing shit at me during the show, and I'd have to dodge
I'm not your fucking DJ. I'm not your DJ who's going to go, right, boss, every time you make a joke. I'm not your fucking band leader who's going to go, yes, great one. No. I'm going to be, the most I would be was Andy Richter throwing shade at you the whole time.
That's fair. Yeah, I watched a lot of Sally Jesse Raphael too.
Wow.
Wanted a pair of red glasses.
We need to keep going. This is getting into a weird area.
The Metzers had a garage sale, and they had some red glasses, and I bought them for like 50 cents, just like plastic red glasses that were reading glasses, and I popped the lenses out, and I'd pretend to be Sally Jesse
and
Raphael.
You wore them in front of your father?
No, never.
And he clutched his chest?
No, I put them... isn't it ironic that I hid everything in my closet?
Your closet of shame. Your mother's shoes.
Yes.
Your Oprah. Your Cabbage Patch dolls.
Yes. My Little Ponies.
Oh, wow. You had those too?
Yeah, uh-huh.
I think I was allowed to have those, but we kept them at my grandmother's house. My grandmother's house was your closet.
Yeah.
We need to move on. We're in a weird area. This is off the rails.
I feel like Grandmother's Closet would be the name of a store that you would work at, and it's just sell things either with lace or like wraps.
I think Dee Dee Rivette definitely owns a Grandmother's Closet.
Wow. Where are we?
2-for-1 mothballs. So
they're going to go to Oklahoma in a couple of days.
They're going to see Mike's mother, not his father, who perished in a butter accident. He was churning and yearning and churning and yearning till he died. I want to know what song that comes from, because you're never singing the same pitch as I am, and I'm outlining a 5/7 chord, and I don't know what you're doing. We need to go over it so it can be right.
There's no right to it.
Yes, there's a right.
We should listen to the first episode when I sang it, and that's what we should sing.
No, I think that's what I did listen, and it's not that. You keep changing it. This is the textbook definition of gaslighting. You keep changing what you're doing, and I'm just trying to sing what's right. Because right is a thing, and right in music should be right, because it's the same thing. Oh, this is off the rails. Did you notice he calls his mother Punkosaurus?
Yeah.
I just think it was a strange thing. So you guys, we did find out that Mike's mother, his father is still alive, but he's very, 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 very connected to his mother.
Yes.
Red flag.
Like
this one.
What did I write? My mom told me to be, and I wrote, what is that word?
Cautious.
Oh, cautious.
Now, I just read, this is the worst game of Wheel of Fortune ever. It was just missing an S.
I typed the word CATIOIU.
Cautious.
Cautious, yeah.
About Natalie.
Yes, he says about his mom, I don't know what's exactly going through my mom's mind. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you do.
Because she fucking told you, and y'all talk every day on the way to work. You know
at 4:10 a.m. I don't know. Is 4:10 her time?
His time, because he goes to work early. So that's going to be 6 a.m. her time. Still early.
Yeah.
They talk every day.
That's fucked up.
I don't talk to my mother every day.
Can you imagine me talking to my mother at 4:10 in the morning?
I can barely imagine you existing on this earthly plane at 4:10.
I know. I
kind of feel like after between 1 and 9:30 a.m., your body leaves this astral plane and goes somewhere else, because you can't get poodle at those times.
If
we do a show and we have a 6 a.m.
I don't
call,
believe that 4:30 is a time.
Yeah.
I think it's just it hits like somewhere around 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. Then time stops and it becomes 6 a.m. again. Exactly.
9 a.m.
I've never been really aware at those times, so I don't think they exist. It's like when dogs are asleep, they're just like, oh, it's a new world.
It's a new world. Hey, let's chase you. So big red flag. So, they're going to go see his mom. We also find
they're talking to her.
He was an only child. He said that
shocker.
He was a moose and said wasn't going to have any more kids after she pushed him out. Again,
I don't think that's just the reason, but
lots of talks of women and birth and babies this episode.
I don't think that's just the reason. I think she only had enough room in her heart for one son.
Yeah.
There's no shame in that either.
They're talking like on a Skype call right now, by the way. And so,
and she said that she's like, is Natalie excited? And she's like, she's excited and nervous. And she's like, well, I don't need no bad stuff happening when you're down here.
Yeah,
I don't need no bad stuff.
I don't know. I don't need no bad stuff. And the mom says the classic, I don't know her. How could I hate her?
Right. Oh,
y'all,
I hate a lot of people I don't know.
A mother does not need to know someone to hate them for their son.
No. So Mike says, you're going to get some tofurkey for her. You know, she doesn't eat poultry. She only eats fish. And then Mom takes out shows her incisors and says, "Well, we can go get a water moccasin down there out of the river." And I was like, "Whoa!"
There are a lot of water moccasins in Oklahoma. I've never heard of someone actually cooking one.
I think they're poisonous.
They're very poisonous.
No, I'm saying the meat of it might be poisonous.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, people eat rattlesnake.
That's true.
I think maybe the venom's like in sacks.
You know what?
Kind of like ball sacks, but in a snake, where they just go.
I'm using a new term, and it says I'll need to do some more research before I have an opinion about this.
Wow. Familiar to that.
I had a sissy send me because I'm always saying I'm not sure about that. That's things about where I'm not going to have an opinion. I'm like, I'll need to do some more research before I can have an opinion.
Yeah.
Don't know how long that's going to last.
Now, he asked Mom, he said, "But Mom, are you going to be on your best behavior?" Probably not. And
she's just as sour as he is.
He's the same person.
I know.
They're both gaslighting fucks. And listen, y'all, we kind of like the Oklahoma Oprah.
No more.
Everything turned for me, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Mike's mom's saying, well, she's coming for Thanksgiving. We're going to make turkey, macaroni and cheese, stuffing.
But
you are not from Oklahoma if you call
dressing
stuffing.
I think they're not from Oklahoma. So I think she is an immigrant.
Well, she hasn't learned the ways of the state she's from. It's called...
You need to assimilate.
In Oklahoma, it's called dressing. Maybe if you're in Tulsa, they're a little different.
I never knew. I thought that there were two different things.
I thought
growing up.
Me too.
Because we had dressing for Thanksgiving dinner, and I saw stuffing mix, and I was like, "Oh, that's a different thing."
I thought that's a different.
And then when I heard people say, "Oh, we're making my aunt's stuffing recipe," and I go, "Oh, the stuff in the the Partridge Farm stuffing mix that you see in the grocery store."
And I thought they did that because
stovetop?
I thought stuffing was like a technique to cook the bird, and I know it. They put
it is. That's what the name.
But I
comes
thought
from.
it was like the way like some people have fried turkey, some people have smoked turkey. Like we cooked our turkey in the oven with dressing, and they cooked it with stuffing. But it was like a whole different. It was just not a family technique.
And then I found out that they were the same thing.
Same thing.
I think it's a very common thing about growing up in the South.
Where is Mike's family from? I wanted
to
Google,
know.
But I didn't care that much.
Well, I guess they relocated after the butter accident. That just threw them.
They left Tillamook, Oregon, quickly. They left Land O'Lakes in Minnesota very soon.
So that's basically all I have about those two.
Me too.
I can't believe we still have to cover them again this season. It feels like an offense to me that I still have to talk about them. I kind of don't mind anybody else. I don't mind. Actually, I mind Julie and Brandon because I think it was too early. We've said that all long.
I am happy to talk about Tiffany and Ronald.
Me too. I don't know if I'm happy. I think it's worth talking about.
It's been a hot minute.
It has. It's been long enough.
Long time.
So, y'all, Tiffany, it's a very short segment. Tiffany is moving to her new apartment.
And I don't know what you're doing, but we got to take a commercial break.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Tiffany and Ronald when we get back.
Oh. Christina! Bring me the axe. Does anyone ever say that to you, Christina?
What's that from?
Christina! Bring me the axe.
What's that from?
Mommy Dearest.
I'm kidding.
When she's...
If you haven't watched Mommy Dearest...
It's a very gay thing. So if I ever so, Christina! To you, it's that. I'll send you the scene. Bring me the axe.
I think she's gay enough that she knows.
You'll enjoy.
It's like when I say, Poodle, bring me the lube.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Oh, God.
Left a good job in the city
And we rolling.
Come on. I was doing a harmony.
Oh, I was going to be the backup to your Tina.
Roll. You can't just switch halfway through. I'm calling it done. You ruined it.
Rolling on a river.
That's a good job in the city. Working for the man every night and day. And I never thought the man of the sleep and worry about the way they might have it. Now we'll keep on turning. Oh, Mary, keep on turning.
And we're rolling on the river. Yeah.
That happened. I don't know. No more tambourines. Wow.
That did something to me.
That like lit a fire in you. And it's like somebody put a Roman candle in your asshole and you just went, pew!
You started with the tambourine. We can't have it out.
That
it makes
can
me
never
do crazy
happen
things.
again. Ever. I am so sorry.
I hurt my leg from slapping it.
Wow.
You know, whoever we hire as our band leader better be able to roll with shit like that. Doc Severinson's dead.
It's true.
So we need somebody.
Stephen Foster's not going to do it. Or whatever his name is. The one that married Catherine McPhee.
Oh, David Foster.
David, what did I say?
Stephen Foster, who wrote Beautiful Dreamer. Beautiful Dreamer. No, David Foster.
Did he write like my old Kentucky home?
Yes. We can't afford David Foster.
We can't.
We can't really afford to say his name. So.
We can't. We can't.
Good for you, Catherine McPhee, for knocking that down.
Oh, I even got a kid from it too.
She's never gonna have to worry about money again.
Never.
Anyway. So where were we? Where were we until I was transported somewhere?
Y'all.
Tiffany's got a new
It's Shoulders McGee. By the way, Tiffany, I think Tiffany might listen to our show.
Or someone's telling her.
Or someone's telling her. Because she's embracing her shoulders, and I'm here for it.
She said, living this cutaway, she's like, they made me change after this. Because she was wearing something that only had one shoulder.
It was only one shoulder?
She's aware.
I'm telling you, Tiffany needs to make her own fucking clothing line. I bet she's fashionable. I bet she could do it.
Oh, yeah.
They sell that at Nordstrom's.
Someone said this, and I've just got to say it with Tiffany. It's like Tiffany is the woman who really seems like has got her head on straight and got everything together, but has made so many bad decisions
about men.
Yeah, it's true, and I pray for her to get clarity about this whole Ronald situation.
You know, I think that's such a good distinction as we're talking about her.
I know, it's nails
because I think that's a lot of people we know in our lives and even have experienced personally in that you think you're a somewhat intelligent person. You know,
she seems like she's got it together.
You're good parents. You're good at your business. Yeah. Like you make money. But when she
stands up for herself.
When it comes to that dick.
That girthy South African D.
It's just bad
South African dick.
South African dick.
Dick. No, not Scottish.
South African dick. But we've all been there. I mean, look, you were a manager of a gay bookstore, which was hard to do. You ran the store very well. I'm serious. You were a good manager. Think about the guys you were fucking and dating while you were a manager of a bookstore.
Wow.
Like,
now I'm rethinking all my choices.
I mean, if you were a woman and could have gotten pregnant,
lots of servers,
you would still be dealing with your bad choices.
Lots of servers / strippers /
they did porn
/ drug addicts
and look, we
living
can't
with their
judge
parents.
Tiffany because we never could.
We
get
are
pregnant.
Tiffany.
We just we could take a pill to get rid of our problems.
It's true,
and it was an antibiotic.
But Tiffany gave birth in a stall.
Exactly.
Like the
she didn't even know. You know what? I just realized Wait, I'd be interested. Y'all come at us in a poll. If Poodle and I could get pregnant, which one of us would have a baby like Tiffany and not know it? Would you or me?
Probably me.
It would be you. Okay, I'm just.
Wait, you've solved the poll.
No need for a poll.
No need for a poll. Probably me.
Because how many times
I'm
Poodle
like, my stomach is. I ate something. Oh, I've really got to poop.
That would be you. That would be you. You would never, and I'm serious, you would actually
and someone's
go
like,
through
is your stomach still bothering? Yeah, I need to go to the doctor. I'll do it after I finish this gig.
Yeah, that's Poodle. I'll do it after. I've got to get through this rehearsal this production of Into the Woods, and then
I'm really
doctor.
gaining weight. I need to get on that too.
And then opening night would come. You wouldn't be there because you will be having a baby in the hospital.
No, I'd have the baby in intermission. No, you can't keep me away. the actual child. Yes, the actual child in Act 2 that goes,
it's baby.
You're like, sorry, everybody. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, everybody.
Mother, can I cry you?
This show's off the rails. It all started with singing Tina Turner.
Anyway, we are all Tiffany. So if you're judging Tiffany,
well,
hold that stone.
I think it's,
but she's getting better. But she's still.
I would only judge her about taking Daniel to South Africa.
Yeah, I would have done that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. Anyway, so I wrote down also. It's sad to see Daniel pulled into their conflicts, and because Daniel loves Ronald.
He loves him.
Actually, Daniel loves the person he thinks Ronald is. And I'm going to tell you now, Daniel, and everybody else who likes Ronald. Ronald's a self-aggrandized bore. He is the loudest person in the room. He is the most arrogant person in the room, always. He's, as I said before, I was talking about him. Ronald's a bore, but he's also a bore. He's also a Dutch settler in South Africa.
Wow. That was nerdier maybe
I'll explain
than
it to you about it.
That was nerdier than your 5'4" joke.
People came at me and loved it.
They you know what? They did love that joke.
Yeah, very small amount of people.
It was like 3 people.
Yeah. Maybe 5.
So she is in love with her new apartment. They don't have furniture, and they're putting together this bed. And Daniel's like, this would be easier if Dad was here.
Yeah, a lot more would be happening if Dad. More like your mom and your dad would be shouting at each other and screaming because they fight. They fight. Their fights are awful. Remember some of them saying how they talk to one another is so. It makes me uncomfortable.
I just wish it's going to be hard for Daniel because this is. I wish that Daniel could grow up and be. I almost hope that he's gay and Tiffany will just calm him and do his makeup. He'll do drag. That's the relationship.
She'd be a very supportive gay mom.
She would be the best mom to a gay kid.
And also, his grandma's already halfway to a drag queen.
She is. And you know what? I saw an Instagram video of Tiffany without makeup, and Daniel and her really look a lot alike.
I'm sure.
Tiffany's gorgeous. Daniel would be a gorgeous drag. I'm
telling
agree. You.
Let's not put anything on Daniel because he's a 10-year-old boy.
No, it's not. But it's just, man, this is going to suck for him.
So
he's going to have a lot of issues with men.
He's already he sees Daniel's room and Ronald's like, you supposed to keep it tidy, my boy. Already,
and he's like, Dad, you're not here.
I'm like, you're not the boss of me.
You're not the boss of me.
So Ronald starts in saying, looks like you bought a lot of furniture.
First thing.
Starts in. Y'all, this is someone who's not sending any money.
Not sending him any money.
Or providing for his daughter.
And Daniel, the thing is what Daniel is showing.
Fucker.
Daniel is showing on the computer. So Ronald is taking something very innocent of Daniel saying, hey, look at all the stuff we bought. I want to show you our home and show you your home. And so he takes the computer around and shows all this.
Ronald sees it as an attack
and
on
Ronald
him.
makes that about him.
Because he thinks in his kind of misogynistic, male chauvinist life, and just because the culture he grew up in, he is just so he's it's eating him up inside that he cannot provide, even though he doesn't really, even though part of him won't let him do it.
Yes,
and because he's also been babied by that mother of his. So he's also really had to never do anything.
Yeah.
We saw how she treats him. When your mother doesn't have consequences after you pawned her fridge,
you in trouble, girl. And so he even says like, "Wow, look at everything! It's such a big bed." And she said, "Well, I had to get a big bed for us." And he's like, "For us?" And Tiffany is still like, Tiffany basically says like, I'm making this home for us,
she's like, I canceled the tickets so I could buy this stuff, and he said, you canceled the tickets so you could spend money, and she was like, oh hell no.
Honestly, if I was Tiffany, she should make that place a home. She should make it a home for her and Daniel.
Yeah, that's it, and Carly.
And Carly, yes. And then if Ronald shows up, great. We'll buy a bigger bed. But Tiffany, you make that home for you. And you know what? He'll either drop out or he'll get his shit together and get it fucking done.
And what's worse is she goes on the attack, because when she feels hurt, she goes on the attack and she's like, how are you a man? How are you a man who can be okay with me? And that, which is the worst thing to say.
It's the worst thing to say to
like
him.
Ronald,
who already feels like less of a man. Yeah.
They're so bad for one another.
She's like, how are you a man who does nothing for me and you still want more? They're horrible for
each
other.
I know it's like it's easy for us to quarterback their relationship, but I hope that when she can look back with clearer eyes and say, boy, God, the signs were there.
They were there.
Yeah. I guess you think Tiffany's a subscriber because she went, they were there.
They were there. I was kind of just looking out just because I get sad talking about them. Like,
yeah.
It feels like, and I wonder if Tiffany feels like this. Like, I feel like if we're talking about Tiffany and Daniel and Tiffany and her mom, it's kind of like, oh, fun, yay.
Anytime Ronald
comes in, it's like the nothing from the never-ending story.
Yeah, sucks all the energy out of the room.
Yeah. Yep. It just makes me sad.
Because he says, but I'm also making sacrifices. And
sacrifices.
He's got I got a job as a bike mechanic. And she's like, I feel like I should be proud, but he's doing the things all men should do. And here's the thing. He's, even though he might not
Tiffany
call
said
him,
this.
Yes,
Tiffany said
he's
just doing what men should do.
Even though he might not say he's a recovering addict, he might say I used to be an addict from the rehab that he was in. But it is a big deal for him to be doing these kind of things.
I wrote that same thing too. That Tiffany is comparing him to whatever she says, quote,
a normal guy
man,
who she's been with before.
Someone who is an addict, who is especially a gambling addict with money, someone who is working a job and making a job and not gambling that money. That's a big fucking deal.
And it's a big deal. And she should acknowledge that. And
you
not
whistled
say,
a little bit from your tooth. You went, she should.
I'm going to get it fixed. Thank you for talking about my broken tooth. Gopher from Winnie the Pooh.
She should.
She sells seashells.
I can't do it because my
seashell.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Thanks, Lispy.
Lispy, welcome to Lispy and Whistly.
And your ridiculously large tongue
hey.
that makes it hard to speak.
No man ever complained about that.
Oh, God, don't ever do that again.
You can show your nipple and I can't stick out my tongue.
It's too wide and it's too heavy. It needs like an inch cut off.
You can touch my tongue.
Ooh,
I touch my nose. You can't touch your nose.
Oh, I can't. I can't. Ooh. Your nose is bigger than mine, too, so that helps.
Wow.
Anyway, so Ronald and I wrote down, Ronald just needs validation. He needs a lot. But in this relationship, Ronald needs validation more than anything else now.
They both need validation. And instead of asking for, do you not see my side, they both end up doing the comparing game.
Yeah.
She even says, I've sacrificed a lot. Did I not make a sacrifice? That's
like,
me.
I've sacrificed.
She's like, that's me seeing your point of view. Because Ronald even says, can you see my point of view? And Tiffany never says, that's not really I can see your point of view. She goes on the defensive. It's like, fuck your point of view. You're not seeing my... And it's just... They need a really good couples therapist that does some like Harville Hendrix shit with them.
They need not to be together.
They need not to be together.
That's horrible, you guys.
That's horrible, especially as an advocate, but they need to not be together. And the thing is...
It was a bang trip. It was a bang trip.
And the thing is, I think Tiffany realizes, unless Ronald really changes his ways, they will never be able to co-parent and be friends.
No.
Tiffany knows she'll be fine without Ronald, but she also knows Ronald will never be fine without her.
That's true.
And she's carrying that, and she's subconsciously taking care of him.
I also
and trying
think
to make it work.
That Ronald,
Tiffany, I want to hug you sometime.
And this word's overused, but I want to use it. We know a lot of toxic men in the 24-hour universe, 90-day universe.
90-day.
Ronald's up there. He's bad. It's not like a bad.
It's not like an Andrew bad. It's not like a Mark. It's not even like a Paul. Not like an Ed. It's because I don't think he has.
I think it's being there in that culture.
I don't think Ronald has a bad heart. Where those men I just described, I think, kind of are insidious. I don't think that's Ronald. I think Ronald,
where it comes to men, where women and men,
his toxicity comes from. He's just broken.
Yeah,
and I don't think he's fully processed. He doesn't need to be with anybody.
No,
he needs to work on himself more. And y'all, there's shit in Ronald's past we don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I
he's
think
too shy to talk about on the show.
It's very different too from where Ronald grew up and where St. John grew up.
St.
John grew up in kind of like middle class. Ronald did not.
He did not.
And it's a very different place.
It is a different place. Ronald grew up in
my friend who
poverty.
was a flight attendant said there were the places where you would the most a woman. She said the places where we would be most scared of going out were never like the scary like places you'd think. She's like Cape Town and Johannesburg. Always.
Really?
Where you felt like you were going to get raped.
Wow.
Yeah. She's like not mostly it wasn't by like black people. It was mostly the white people.
But yet the story they've told with
Yep.
Somewhere shit there.
Yep.
Wow, again, Poodle just ending it on a good note.
Brandon and Julia. We have an update. I want to do two updates, actually. Because I asked last time, what is the deal with like Seinfeld? What's the deal with immigration?
Wait, I do. Before you want to read the update, I just want to say, because I think this is important. Tiffany does say about Ronald, she's like, I want to be proud of him, but I can't. That's for Tiffany to process.
Yeah.
If you can't be proud of somebody, that's your shit. You need to work on that. And there was something else I wanted to say. Ronald apologized at the end. And
it's all half-hearted, though.
And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry I talked to you about that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Now,
I don't want to talk about Brandon and Julia, and I keep bringing up Tiffany.
So Brandon and Julia, I asked, we kind of threw this out saying, are people deported with... who don't get green cards, who are married. Mm-hmm. This came from a sissy immigration attorney. Immigration attorney. Sissy M, we'll call her.
M. For immigration.
Immigration. And so she said, I don't have inside info about specific couples going on, but I can advise generally. If the green card is denied, so if Julia's green card was denied, the person is no longer authorized to stay, but it is not under an order of deportation. So she wouldn't be deported immediately. So that's a jump that the show or they are making.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, they're trying to raise stakes that aren't here. This is more interesting. Brandon and Julia's, however, will be granted because they are heads and shoulders above the usual fake/paid marriage, the dating records, the church wedding, etc. Sounds like their interviewer said it would be approved, but for clarifying if one more form is required. Things did change a lot under the last administration, so there are plenty of moving parts. The form they referenced was the affidavit of support, which shows that someone can support you until you work 40 quarters, which means 10 straight years. Brandon may not make enough, so that was probably completed by his parents. They would have otherwise left the interview with a conditional green card. So they needed one more form that the person didn't know about. So in other words, she said it's conditional because they have been married less than 2 years. That makes sure people aren't fly-by-night. She'll still have to come back and prove they're still married, or if not, that the marriage was in good faith. She says, I've written enough. Let me know if I can provide any more details. So,
wow,
thank you, Sissy M. We also had someone in our...
I feel like that's good for you to know an immigration attorney. I still think a 90-day might happen for Poodle.
Ooh.
Maybe you should go on a 90-day site.
Come on, Italian man. Or even better, Colombia. Colombian men, y'all.
That's true.
I also, Sissy Eva... who is actually a moderator in our Facebook group, the mods. Come
on, some Sissy Squad. We have fun in there.
Fun in there.
A lot of fun.
She said, "I'm a 90-day fiance," and she was talking about how she's like, honestly, if you have all the right paperwork and you get your shit together, what I've been told from everybody, you're going to be fine with getting your green card. So she said, this is mostly show and drama driven. All of these. So
well, then what's the point? Why are we here talking about them? Thanks,
exactly. Poodle. If words don't mean anything, what are we doing here? Well, we're saying though we'll talk about it, but I hate being BS'd, and this storyline is BS.
It does seem like that now.
Yeah. Anyway, so.
Y'all, I have one thing I want to talk about. They're in the kitchen. Betty is, again, same old same.
Feeding
Julia.
the animals.
Why is there a big, huge television on their kitchen table?
It's enormous.
It's enormous. It makes no sense.
Remember those little, tiny black and white televisions people would put on their tables?
Yeah, but their kitchen is so cluttered. There is not room for any. This house
is an enormous television.
This is a hoarder's home.
I agree.
I think.
And so
anyway, they're animals. That's
the only
feed the animals.
That's the only comedy in this segment was when
Fuck
Julia.
You, Mr. Cow.
Fuck you, horse. Fuck you. We do find out that Julia has a design degree.
That was cool. Good for her.
I did not know that before.
So she has a design degree,
and she wants to work for a designer, but she's going to meet with the wedding planner.
See that building day after day after day after day. So she's wants to put her degree to use, and so she found a wedding planner in Richmond, and she's going to meet with this wedding planner to talk about wedding planning.
Yeah,
she says planning a lot. That's why I said it that way. So she goes to talk to Christine,
and she's going without Brandon, which is a big deal for her.
Christine is gorgeous, by the way, and so Christine has this kind of like. The kind of wigs that look really good on Poodle.
Yeah, short.
Where it's like short and just all kind of one side, and it's like
asymmetrical.
Y'all. Like kind of like a more hip Dee Dee Rivette wig.
Yeah.
That is your best
more.
wig.
It's the short ones.
I mean, you really kind of wear. It's kind of what your hair is now.
A little bit.
Maybe you could do like a really blunt short on the side and grow out and like just really kind of like lean into your lesbian hairness.
I'm okay with that.
I kind of think you should.
Like a female talk show host in the late 80s, early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm into that. Yeah.
Attitudes.
Y'all, Attitudes with Linda Dano and that other woman. If you haven't YouTubed it.
It's pretty glorious.
That television was different back then.
It was.
Things were just not... And Linda Dano's like, yeah. If you watch the SNL sketch, that's everything you need.
Did they do
see.
a sketch of that?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's everything you need to see.
Is that with what's her name?
Nora Dunn and Jan Hooks.
Jan Hooks, who's dead.
Yeah, good.
Why did Jan Hooks die?
Breast cancer.
Good? You said good?
No, I didn't say good.
Oh, I thought you went, yeah, good.
No, I was talking about. Did I not say it was good that Jan Hooks died?
I know. Okay, I was making sure.
Who are Jesus?
I'm just making sure.
Anyway, she is talking about Christine. She's like, so I work for a waiter, I work for a judge. She was saying it in a way that where the woman Christine could understand her, but it's exactly what Brandon was saying. Is she's like, what's the kind of guy who has gavel? You go to prison. A judge.
A judge. She's like, and so
you don't want to play pyramid with your wedding planner.
No,
y'all.
you don't. And she said, and then Julia says, but now I work for a farm. And she went, huh?
I know. It was and the thing, you guys, is yes, you can understand Julia. That's not the problem. But if Julia is going to be careful with that tambourine.
It's true.
If Julia,
I'm afraid I'm going to
make a sound. I'm going to go.
Just going to go. Wee!
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But the idea that to be someone who's going to be working with clients and trying to kind of lead a client through
you don't want a
something-
client saying, bouquet. Is that what you mean? Like,
yeah.
You want to be very clear.
So,
especially y'all, a wedding planner. We've said this before. That is, for some people, for a lot of people, one of the most important days of their life.
Yeah.
When they're also the most stressed.
Yep.
You want someone that communicates very clearly.
I don't think Julia's going to be good under stress like that.
That even if she had a mastery of the English language, I don't think she's good under stress.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
And I think
she'll freak out. I think.
Yeah, and I think it's just going to take her some time. And I think she's doing the best idea. So Christine says, network, meet people, and maybe she works some weddings. She gets paid on the table to do some stuff for weddings.
I mean,
I didn't say that, but
because Christine even says a big part of wedding planning is calming the people in the wedding.
I believe that. I've
I've
worked with some high-riding bitch wedding coordinators.
Oh, yeah, I've been a wedding coordinator, not because I wanted to be, but I want you to think about that. Imagine Julia trying to calm someone.
No. She goes, it's fine.
I think it would get her stressed. I don't think she would be good at it at all.
Yeah.
Maybe like the pretty, making things pretty.
I liked it when Christine says, it's a long road and it's not just table linens and pretty things. And I think Julia really still does think that being a wedding planner is table linens and pretty things.
Because really a wedding planner isn't as much as a designer. They hire the florist. Yep. They hire the designer.
It's pretty grotty.
It's like a contractor for a home.
And making sure everything goes according to plan.
Yeah, you want a lesbian stage manager as your wedding planner. That's what you want.
Yeah. Because you know what? Everything's going to come off really well, or someone's going to pay.
On time. She's going to call the wedding at 12:01, and you're going to do it at 12:01.
And because you're scared of her.
Because you're scared of her. You should be scared of your wedding planner.
I agree with that. So they get
Or at
home.
least the florist. That they should all be scared of them.
Yeah, the people working for her. So she comes home. Brandon's playing video games, of course, because that's all he does. And we're now.
Christine does continue to practice your English. She does tell her that.
And I think this is a good point, but where we talked about maybe a business writing class where she learns about, or a conversational English class that in a nice way people correct her. Saying it's not this, because Brandon's going to say you don't say that, and you're going to say it in
more of a
way.
School way. You're open to criticism.
But if she wants to do something where she's working with people,
yes,
your English has to be really good.
Maybe I should take classes instead of you correcting me.
Okay, great, but less I have to do.
What would you want me to take the class in?
We'll have to have evaluation. Lots of things. History. Geography.
What? How will the geography be?
Common movies from the 90s that don't involve Haley Mills or 80s.
That's fair. That one's fair. I'll take that class.
And just one called General Knowledge. I'm telling you, if we had like a week, I'd make you read the encyclopedia.
Not familiar.
I know. Did you buy your encyclopedias at the grocery store? We did.
No, you said no. We bought them from like a traveling salesperson.
And that's right.
Yeah.
And I was like, someone actually came to your house.
Yeah, people used to be encyclopedia. They would come like once a year. Oh, here comes the encyclopedia person.
Wow. We lived too far out rurally.
Oh, yeah.
We were too far.
Yeah,
You lived in a neighborhood, though, right?
Yeah.
We lived our nearest neighbor was a mile away. Yes. Yes. Anyway, so she's like, and Brandon's like, well, maybe you can talk to my friend Melanie. And she goes, who? My girl. A girl who's a friend. And then
we hear like that.
And then
RuPaul.
Julia said, so
her eyes just start going. You see the blood coming in the whites of her eyes, and it just starts to swirl.
This is what makes her sound so fucking provincial. It's just she comes off as a ridiculously jealous, silly girl.
Yes.
Every time. She's 28 years old, you guys. Or 25. No, Yara's 25, Julia's 28. That's what it is.
Okay. But I thought Yara's 28. I think you're wrong.
No, because Yara's younger than Julia. That's established.
I like that we're not even experts on the show we've seen on the content that's actually been shown to us. Like it says their age at the beginning of every episode.
I think Julia is older than Yara. That's been established.
I hope that's
she's
wrong.
Like, she's your friend. Is she ugly? Is she ugly? And she's like, no, she's not. She's like, so she's beautiful. And he knows he's trapped. She's not ugly or beautiful.
PlayStation. I'm playing a video game.
We see Melanie in a preview for later on. She's cute. She's a pretty girl.
It's not going to go good.
Yeah. Anyway, and she's like, maybe she's like, I am girl.
You ever date Melanie?
Oh, so this
He's
is
like, no, that's crazy. Good answer.
And then she says, maybe she cared about you and you know nothing about it. So that's her
like, what?
explanations.
She's like, you can't trust women.
Again, so between what was the one I said about a Lucy plot? Was that Extreme Sisters? Yeah, that was for Patrice and Patrix. So between Julia and Patrice and Patrix, we are taking women back to the 50s because you cannot be friends with men. If there is a pretty woman, she will steal your man.
Women are terrible and foxy.
Yeah. So she's like, then she says, I don't care about what happened in your past. I am your future now. So evidently he can't have any friends who he knew before her.
I don't think this part is produced. I think
this is her. This is her.
She is Gus. This is
her.
Says, I'll go meet Melanie because I don't trust girls.
It is the most narrow-minded, selfish, provincial way of being.
That's going to be great for her to be a wedding planner working with a lot of women.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
Yeah. And I don't.
She'll be super.
And I think she does want to have children one day. I wonder what that'll be like. Will she be jealous of her child?
No, I don't think she'll be jealous of her child.
Or I don't know. Or if he's gone for something,
but she will tell her daughter that all men will fuck her over and not to ever trust men.
Probably. Yep. And she'll say, and don't trust women either.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. Probably which maybe her mom did to her.
Good mothering. I want to still meet her parents. I want to meet her parents, and I know we saw them but I really want to meet Yara's parents.
Oh,
there's a story there. Come on,
because we haven't even seen. We saw them.
We did?
Maybe we didn't.
I bet Yar's mother, if she is not the what's that French actor? If she's not the French actress, the woman, Madame Clifco. No, what's her name?
I don't know. You're digging yourself into a hole.
The woman
you need to come up with
not Jean Benet. The woman, Julie. No, she was in the Umbrella movie,
Umbrellas of Cherbourg, Catherine Deneuve.
Yeah, that Catherine Deneuve.
Madame Cliquot. We need to end the show.
The cat. I feel like her mother would be.
I feel like I'm here with Julia right now.
I feel like her mom would be the Catherine Deneuve of Russia. Are you crazy?
Deneuve.
That's what I said. Yo, that's the show. You can go to Reality Games Podcast.
I'm done with you. I'm done. Can't you get on a plane?
No, I'm going to be here for another week. Drive. Y'all, go to our website. You could also come at us on Cameo. Poodle's got some Civil War letters he's got to do. And
one today.
Did you get your Saloon Girl outfit? Did we decide
No,
on
I
a
haven't
name
bought
yet?
it yet.
Did we decide on a name?
We decided on a name.
Oh, what is it?
I'm still not certain about how I'm going to do the Saloon Girl cameos. I think it is Miss Poodleline McClanahan.
Oh, I like it. I like that a lot.
Miss Poodleline.
Poodleline McClanahan.
There was a middle name. I'm trying to think.
It's perfect. It sounds somebody who's common, trying to be wealthy, and that's you.
Oh, always. I'm quite common.
Y'all, also, you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts.
If you don't know what to write, say, keep going Queens.
Anything else, Poodle, we need to let them know about?
No.
She's so done with me right now.
I'm so done with you. So done with you.
Y'all, we call these people lonely hearts because, Poodle, are we all just lonely hearts looking for love in all the wrong places?
Yes. And if you left a good job in the city, well, everything I might have been. And I never thought the man I was sleeping. Very much everything I might have been. But I will keep on saying, keep on rolling on the river. Shoot. Call us. That was too much.